Hey guys, it's Lauren and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing some modern farmhouse inspired thrift flip projects because in a few days I'm going to be finishing out the reveal of my friends Rachel and Johnny's house. Rachel had invited me over to check out the space because she wanted to make as much impact as possible with a tight budget of around $150. So as part of that, we have to be creative and be thrifty. So I went on a thrifting shopping spree to see what I could find and see what I could transform into more of the modern farmhouse design aesthetic that we're going to be going for in this project. And then Rachel also really likes the colors of blue, teal, and light green, so I'm going to use some of those colors too as accents. But you have to check back and see the before and after video that I'll post in a few days with more on the project that are more like the larger staple pieces of the design. Alright, so I'm super pumped because I found two of these really fun and actually surprisingly comfortable director's chairs at Goodwill for $5 a piece. Now they're actually really nice wooden construction. I think I might do kind of like a gray wash over this just to make it more of a wood tone that I think Rachel will like. And then I'll go ahead and cover the seat and back with new fabric. And what's great is they easily come off so that I can make a template for my new fabric. And I'm going to use this fun black and white plaid that I definitely think looks modern farmhouse, and I'm going to combine it with a thick canvas drop cloth to make the fabric a little bit more sturdy for the seats. I'm going to go about an inch out on all perimeters just so I have some sewing allowance to fold it over and sew it. And I'm going to cut 2 out of the plaid for the seat bottoms. And then I cut 4 pieces out of the back of the chair so that I can have the plaid on both the front and back of the chair. The bottom seat, I don't think we need the plaid on the bottom. Just the canvas will be fine. And then in order to make this plaid fabric stick to the canvas a little bit more easily for sewing, I'm actually going to spray down one of these pieces of fabric with spray adhesive and then smooth out the other one on top. Now I'm going to go ahead and iron my outside seams down, and then I'll fold it over a second time so that I have a nice crisp fold for when I stitch up the backs of these chair covers. I'm going to do the same thing with the seat covers, but for these chair backs I am going to do the long sides first, and then for the sides we're going to do that, but then it also has to fold over again to go around those chair backs. And here you can see how I just ironed down this fabric once and then ironed it down again, folded over. This seat fabric for the director's chair actually comes with some sort of dowel on the edges to help actually keep the cover on the seat bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these out because I'll reuse them since they're the right size for this chair. I'm going to start with sewing the seams on the top and bottom of the chair backs, and I'll get those nice and straight where I had folded and ironed everything over. And then once those both sides are done, I'm going to go ahead and fold over the sides of these pieces to form the little loops that will go over the chair posts on the back of the chair. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the seat portion of the chairs. I'll go ahead and stitch up the front and back seams first, and then once those are all stitched up nice and clean, I'm going to go ahead and fold over the sides of these seat cushions and form just a little bit of a pocket for these little dowels to then slide into. And now I just need to assemble these chairs, and the end result is super cute. I love the plaid with this distressed whitewash wood, and it definitely looks more modern farmhouse than it did when I started. I found these really fun mirrors at the thrift store. I think they're meant to be on either side of a larger mirror on top of a dresser, but the larger mirror didn't come with it. So I picked these both up for only $3. I think they'll be super fun on either side of a window in the space to create the illusion of a larger window and also a larger room. And I love that they're architectural. I'm going to do the same whitewash finish that I did on those director's chairs onto these mirrors that will go on either side of the window. I went ahead and taped the inside of that mirror along the frame. And then I'm just going on liberally with this white paint. And then I'm going to take a dry paper towel and just kind of lightly rub it against this paint now to get off some of the extra. And there's the before and the after. I think the whitewash look will tie in with the rest of the room a little bit more. So I bought this amazing piece and it was only $4 at the thrift store, but it's in one of the colors that Rachel likes, which is this light green color. So I definitely think this will make a statement on the walls for sure. I got these really cheap baskets, each for under $1. And I think I can just paint them a different color and then maybe it'll go with the space. I also got these little shadow box frames really cheaply at the thrift store too. And I'm thinking maybe I'll stain them, paint the inside, and put some sort of fake plants hanging out of them and have them match this fun piece of artwork. Then I also got this at a thrift store. It's just a fun candle holder. But once again, I think it can become more modern farmhouse if I paint it a lighter color. I got this really fun mail organizer or mail holder for only $5 too. This fun, more vertical piece of artwork, this distressed wood. It kind of looks more like World Traveler vibe, but the finish is definitely modern farmhouse with that grayish wash look. And then I bought this picture ledge also at the thrift store, and then a couple of thrift store frames that I think we could put family photos in, kind of layer them. And then this little thrift store vase too. I think we can just put a little plant in the top and it'll be super cute on the wall. So for these fun shadow boxes, I think I'm gonna stain the frames like a grayish color wood, and then I'll paint the background pieces of wood a different color and then maybe put some succulents on the top of them. I think it'll be kind of fun wall art. And I got these two frames for $2.99 at the thrift store. And so I went to Joann's and they had a 70% off sale going on, which I couldn't believe it, on some of these fake plants and succulents. So I bought some of them, and now I'm just taking off the little pieces at the stems, and they're left with little stubs like this. And then this longer one, I'm going to try to cut 2 of the main stems off. Now that I have everything where I want it, I'm gonna drill little holes through the back piece of wood so that I can then push these little stubs through. And then I'll use hot glue to go ahead and secure them in place. Yay! I also had a little small piece of this left over, so I'm just gonna put it in this cute little vase to also tie this in with the rest of the room. I'm gonna spray paint these cute little round baskets in this pale blue spray paint pretty generously. And then once that's all on there and dry, I'm gonna go ahead and distress the edges of the baskets a little bit.
And then I went back to these
baskets
and used that sandpaper again just to roughen the edges and bring some of the natural basket back
with all
out,
the other rectangular
kind of make them look a little bit more worn.
I also found this really great wicker basket at the thrift store. I'm gonna tape off the bottom section of the basket and add a fun touch of teal paint to the room by spray painting just the bottom section of the basket with this teal spray paint. And I think the end result is going to be super cute and just add a nice touch of color in the space without being too much. I want to update the color of this candle holder too, but first I need to cover the metal fixtures on the bottom. So I just used some plastic bags, wrapped it around really tightly, and secured it underneath this candle holder. This candle holder I spray painted teal yesterday and I let that dry. I wanted that to be the underlaying color, but I don't want that to be the way it's finished now. I'm gonna go over with a mostly dry paintbrush with some of this white paint on it and kind of add highlights on top of it. And then I'm going to take some really watered down black paint, more water than paint, and kind of brush that on in some spots too to get a little bit more of a shadow effect. And now it looks more old world, but it also has this teal color underneath that I know is one of the colors Rachel likes. I'm gonna give this frame a lighter and brighter feel too by painting it with the same blue paint I used for the smaller baskets that will go on the wall. Then I'm gonna take this frame I painted and I want to bring out this detail more, so I'm gonna lay it on top of a piece of sandpaper and just kind of rub it there. I think the light, bright look of it will match the space a little bit more, and I like that you can see the details more and it looks a little distressed. And I think that little picture frame is going to look super cute on top of this picture ledge, combined with this larger frame and then also this little cute vase. And don't forget to check back for the part 2 video where it will have the before and after of the overall room with all of these fun items inside of it.